Welcome back to Rare Elvis Photos. There's been quite a lot of comments. This video itself is only 2 hours worth of comments. And while we're reading these comments and talking about Priscilla and Lisa, up on the top right you'll see Elvis and the Legends and the Sins Country. Make sure you find those channels. Those are two of my channels as well, and subscribe when you leave tonight. Y'all are certainly doing your job defending Elvis, defending Lisa. There is a lot of outrage going on at Priscilla. Now, there has been a lot of outrage towards Priscilla anyways, but with her appearance really at that Riley Keough book signing in Memphis, where a lot of people just assumed that she showed up uninvited, and we still don't exactly know the truth of the matter. Those that love Priscilla and defend Priscilla was saying that she had spent a considerable amount of time with Riley that day, and so obviously she must have been invited out and a special guest. That may be true. And by the way, I hope y'all read these comments that are going by. Some I will hit upon. Sometimes there's going to be some music playing. But you know, there's a reason. There's a reason why people are mad at Priscilla. This is a book that she was writing her life story, and she asked Riley to finish it, or to help her on it, obviously. And then Riley finished it. So her place to get up on stage and laugh and cackle like a witch, like a clown, in my opinion. She's not really a clown. She's not really a practiced witch as far as I know. Maybe she is. I don't know. Just infuriated everybody. And then there's a lot of people that were mad at Riley as well. How could Riley allow Priscilla on stage when there's stuff in that book about Priscilla allowing abuse and, molest and then station. I guess I probably can't put those two words together really quick. From Michael Edwards, alleged, gotta say alleged, obviously, allowed it not just once, but over and over and over and over again. No mother, no good mother who loves their child and isn't resentful of their child, like Priscilla, we all know how resentful she was. No good mother allows that to happen. And Priscilla did, according to Lisa. It happened when she was 10, 11, 12, 13, and maybe later. We don't know exactly how far it went when it comes down to, did it go any further than what she described? Because Riley doesn't have to put everything in a book. Could there be something more in the tapes and Riley just was trying to protect her mom? I don't know. Sometimes there's certainly a bit of appreciation for Michael Edwards in that book by Lisa, that she felt sorry for him, that he was there for her more than her mother was. How Priscilla would go out of town and leave her with Michael. And of course, we know that she would leave her with babysitters and with the Church of Scientology later on. But, there's a lot of people that wonder, why Priscilla put Lisa in Scientology, dropped her off. Because she didn't know how to fix her. She didn't know how to make things better. I think, personally, my opinion, I think she dropped her off there to silence her. Because, Lisa was lippy. Lisa had to know it was wrong for her mom to allow her to be abused the way she was abused in so many different ways. Mistress Kaylee, wow, that song is the vengeance of the Lord. Well done. Thank you so much. She deserves that song. Prissy B, should lose the Presley name, basically. I'll play that song again later on in this video, because Priscilla deserves it, as well as, some great loving songs about Elvis that I've written and recorded. And so anyhow, great comment, Mistress Kaylee. And as y'all know, I did go to the Nashville event at Belmont. I got there not terribly early. I didn't get there early enough to get a bottom row seat, which I do regret. I could have probably had a better tape recording for y'all. But anyways, I went there because I was curious. First off, I bought it well in advance. I didn't think that Priscilla was going to be there anyways. I wanted to have the book to be able to read to y'all, and y'all saw that in the video last night. I read a little bit. Going to read more. Probably tomorrow I'll be releasing another segment of that. But I was curious to see whether Priscilla would be there too. I didn't think she would, because Priscilla normally is not going anywhere where she can't make herself some money. And I think that, first off, she saw the fury on the internet about her being at that Memphis event. Oh, by the way, hey, Penny says, this man talking on this video needs to get the heck out. All these hateful comments about Priscilla Presley is jealousy and ignorance. At least that's how I picture her talking. I did tell her thank you for taking the time to leave me a comment. Kill him with kindness, right? Bless your heart, baby. Anyhow, obviously a much bigger Priscilla fan than she's an Elvis fan if she wrote that on this channel. Because Priscilla, she's done so much in this world, hasn't she? She has changed the world with herself. All right, enough of that. Hey, on the Child Bride Priscilla and her Dark Fairy Tale video that I just put out, that's a reading of Child Bride. So it takes a little bit of time to get into the reading part. I apologize for that. But Edie, it looks like you got through it. If stepdad was a drunk, very possible that P was abused too, allegedly, which she repeated with Lisa. P's mom also cut off her father's family, just as P did with the Presleys. You know, Priscilla, the reason why she cut off a lot of the family, the Presleys, from what I heard and what I read, was that she tricked them. She tricked them into giving their rights away so she could make the money. She tricked them and Joe Esposito, to get home videos and stuff like that, so she could release them and make money off of them. That is why I think she's cut the Presleys off. And unfortunately, Riley is too young, too blind. Maybe she doesn't care about it at all because it's not her business. She doesn't have a relationship with Billy Smith and all those. And I don't mean that to be negative. I like Riley, but you know, she has her personal experiences of being what her age is, and her experience with her grandmother and her mother, and she's had some horrible tragedy, losing her brother, you know, and losing her mother, obviously. Angie says 203, Graceland has 6 plots. Her granddaughter knows that. This will be her way out of her grandmother not being buried there. She's playing her cards right. You could be right about that. But I know Priscilla's doing a lot of stuff around Memphis, and there's a reason why she's doing a lot of stuff around Memphis, is to try to talk that city into adding more grave plots so she can be buried there. I've not heard anything about Riley Keough wanting to be buried there. You know, that's where her mother's at. But you're not always buried where your mother's at. You're normally buried where your husband's at, your kids are at. But her brother's there, Ben. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. She's certainly not going to talk about the end of her life, you know, this early on. I'm sure she's planning on living a long life. At the Graceland Memorial, Jerry Schilling talked about Lisa working for him, and that she questioned Jerry Lee about the gate incident. You know, Jerry Lee can say what he wants. All I know is that he said a lot of things in interviews that was very hateful towards Elvis. Very jealous, very hateful. And of course, Jerry was a drunk. Talented guy. Loved his music. You know, I mean, you can't get... I mean, there was Elvis, but then there was Jerry Lee, there was Roy Orbison, and Johnny Cash. Those are 4 of the best artists, in my opinion, that existed. You know, did he not get his due? In a sense, he didn't get his due, but it's his own fault. I mean, come on. I mean, it's not even... It is the age, too, but it's not just the age. It was his cousin. And he proudly married her, you know, and showed her off at the airport like a dummy. I mean, he wasn't even smart about it, you know. And once again, I hope there's not a bunch of Jerry Lee fans that get mad at me. But I think even Jerry Lee fans can see that, hey, the killer, you know, was not the brightest guy. He wasn't. He couldn't be, because he didn't think. He didn't think before he talked. He didn't think before he acted. Cat Love, 1976. I do not think she should be buried at Graceland, regardless of whether she was his ex-wife. Anyways, after what I know now, there's no way she'd be buried there. You know, and I hate, in a sense, I mean, it sounds like you might have been a Priscilla fan before, possibly, and which was your right. I kind of hate that it's come out like this because, you know, when you idolize somebody or you like somebody, you don't want to see the bad stuff about them. You don't want to find out that maybe perhaps they're completely opposite of who you thought they were. Hey Edie 1011, I love your voice and you do Elvis so well. Yes, thanks so much. I think you're commenting about going to my Elvis and the Legends channel, where I'm going to start loading some songs of me singing Elvis, and there'll be some other commentary on there about other artists besides Elvis, maybe those that are associated with Elvis, perhaps about Jerry Lee, perhaps about Tom Jones or somebody else like that. I mean, I'm a big fan of a lot of different music acts, Roy Orbison, Johnny Cash. I love singing some Johnny Cash. I always do Johnny Cash at shows and sing Johnny and talk like Johnny, and George Jones and Willie Nelson, all those guys. In fact, I think on Elvis and the Legends, there's a version of the Highwaymen song with me singing all the different voices, the Johnny and the Jerry Lee, and it's not Jerry Lee, I'm sorry, Johnny and the Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, and Waylon Jennings. So you obviously see below here on the bottom left, Elvis and the Legends. I went back to heart and to like some of these comments because they deserve it, and I should be doing that, and I apologize in the past that I haven't done that. I need to get through it. Literally, in all honesty, it would take me to go through and reply to all the comments that have been on this YouTube page in the last 2 weeks. I mean, it would take me 2 weeks to do that, like 8 to 10 hour days, and I got a regular job, and of course I do these voiceovers, and I do some readings, and I do singing, and I do my own songwriting and singing and recording, and I have my family time. I spend a lot of time with my family. Thankfully, my wife works from home, so I get to see her every day all the time. It's 18 years we've been married, and of course you can see her, The Sins Country. You see the little link over there on the right. Not the link. I don't think I could put a link, but the picture. Our YouTube, The Sins Country. And we haven't loaded a ton of stuff on there. We probably should. But if you Google us, you'll find our iHeartRadio, iTunes, all that stuff, our records. And you'll see my wife and who she is and what she sounds like, too. Shannon enjoyed that song. Thanks, Shannon. Appreciate that. 8724. Watch next. Priscilla will write her own book about Lisa. I totally did not know this, or I totally did not like that. Did you know this or that? Oh, her, yes. She kept saying, did you know this? Did she tell you this? She was just basically gaslighting Riley and acting like she knew more than Riley. Sensed a lot of jealousy on Priscilla's end, sadly. I didn't want to think bad of Priscilla, but she made herself look horrible. She really did. You know, she didn't help herself in the eyes of any Elvis fan. Now, I don't even know if any Priscilla fan that read that book can defend her. They really can't, I don't think. They can say, oh, she was young. Oh, she was being abused as well. But those are excuses. If it happened once, or sure. But over a 6-year period, I don't think so. Elvis fangirl, hey, some stupid account on Instagram made this big post about how we're all commenting, and it's not our family, and we shouldn't be commenting, and we should just let Riley do what she has to. I did reply to you there. You see the view reply below. Yeah, I mean, let them. Hate us. Hate us be hate us. That just means we're getting attention, and y'all are getting attention, and that's important. You know, I mean, to have a movement, you know, if y'all wondering what the little thing in the background is, that I'm casing Elvis cards, you know, while I'm reading the comments and talking to y'all. I have to multitask. If I don't multitask, I never get anything done. Jeannie Ubeck, it's so good to know that the twins are big Elvis fans. Their favorite song is Crying in the Chapel. Now, I didn't know that. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. I love that song as well, and that shows some good character on their side. That's a gospel song. That's not a rap song, rock and roll song. And sure, they can like rock and rap and whatever they want to like. But to like that, has to be their favorite song, has to be some character. And I love, love, love that. Thank you for doing that. Live to take time out. It's greatly appreciative. I wasn't sure whether I was going to get away with doing it. You're not supposed to record in those places, as far as I know. In fact, my wife has said before that, don't you be recording. And then she saw me recording. She's like, ugh, why do I even tell you that? I said, well, I'm going to try to bring it. Even if I have to just bring the audio to the Rare Elvis Photos, I'm going to bring it to him. And it worked out. You know, I held the phone up against my chest and didn't have to have any flash or nothing like that. And for the most part, if you turn the volume up and put some headphones on, you can hear it pretty decently. Kendra, the song needs to be a hit on the country station. This is awesome. I would love a coffee. Coffee. I'd love a coffee too right now. It's 9 o'clock at night or something like that. A copy. So I haven't loaded it up on iTunes. I'm going to do it soon. I just have to, there's some contractual stuff I got to worry about. Whether when I put them on iTunes, whether it's going to claim copyright on my own videos. Because you can't get a hold of anybody at YouTube. You can't talk to a human. So if you want a copy of that, or any of y'all want a copy, y'all can Venmo me and I'll send you the digital files of it in advance of me releasing it. RareElvisPhotos@gmail.com. Several of you have already messaged me. I think one of you said you needed the last 4 of the number for Venmo. It's 9690. But anyways, email me and ask me for it. Ask me for the link for it if you want, and then I will do that for y'all in advance of the release. All right, Sylvia says 2619 recovering from surgery in a cast, enjoying the videos. Watch them all. Thanks from Boston. Hey, I love Boston. I went there on a marketing tour, running a tour for Monster Jam. I've done a lot of things in my life, and I ran a big tour for that. And took my son to the Boston Garden. He's a big Celtics fan. I was a huge Celtics fan as a child, even though I wasn't raised in Boston. I was a big Larry Bird fan. And then he became a Boston fan, and without even really knowing it. Was Priscilla creeping around Nashville trying to get on stage with Riley Keough? You commented on here, how can I get your music? Well, you probably just heard RareElvisPhotos@gmail.com. Send me a message. And if y'all want to wait until it's out on iTunes, fine. That's perfectly fine. I'll let you know when it is. But if you want it in advance and you want to be able to have the music on your phone and add to your audio library, you know, you can just message me and you can Venmo me, and I will give you the release in advance. Joe Connolly, why was she there? I'm sorry. I hope you didn't think she was in Nashville. I was just wondering. I made that video or the title of it on the way down there. You know, I recorded some stuff on the way because I was thinking, what if she comes out on stage? I'll tell you what. My wife was like, don't embarrass me. She doesn't like Priscilla either, by the way. But, you know, she likes Riley a lot. So do I. We watch her TV shows. She's a great actress. She really is a great actress. And she's a great singer. And someday she's going to realize that she got it. Not just from her mom, but mainly from her grandfather, not grandmother. Priscilla can't sing. She sings, and all the cats go to the back door to try to leave the house. Laney, I believe it says, my favorite in 1969 is the Chips Mormons produced from Elvis in Memphis. It's a great album. Every song is great, and I love his raspy voice from that period. You got some real treasures. I think she was looking at the records right there. Yeah, riding in a long white Cadillac, or long black Cadillac. White Cadillac? Riding in a long black limousine. Yeah, so I got Dwight Yoakam's confused with that. One of my favorite songs. I used to have that on tape, cassette tape. And I would play it. It'd sound warbly. That's fine. I just keep playing it. Someday I'll be returning. Something like that. Fancy cars, all the world see. Oh, yeah. I just don't remember all the lyrics. Which is sad. I would get sad listening to this song because, you know, long black limousine. Because, you know, he wasn't in black limousines. He was in a white limousine. But I was just thinking about the day he died and all the limousines carrying Elvis and the family. Which you know, I forgot what book it was in. Was it Child Bride? I don't know. It's in one of the books that maybe it was Linda Thompson, that she wouldn't let anybody on the Lisa Marie. You know, that she made them take. Well, she didn't even want anybody flying out. In fact, I think Esposito had to arrange Linda flying. Essentially, she was like, "This is my plane. This is my business. This is my money." And she, you know, she certainly went around. And of course, if she wanted to come back at any point in time, Elvis didn't want her around. You know, 1973, there was an article about how Priscilla wanted to come back. and or was talking about a reconciliation, and maybe I think it was the Christmas of '73, and Elvis told her no, flat out no. Joey Lang, 2800, says Riley didn't like the way Elvis's death affected her mom. In my take, Riley blames Elvis. Priscilla Beaulieu abused Lisa Marie and let Michael Edwards abuse her. That's exactly what the book says. That's exactly what Lisa Marie claims. And, you know, we always have to say alleged, and that's probably why Michael and Priscilla are not going to get in trouble for this. I mean, Lisa's passed. You know, she didn't try to prosecute them. Not that she would her mom, I don't think. But Michael certainly didn't try while she was alive. It's too embarrassing. You know, I think she might have started wanting to write the book when kind of that Me Too movement came out, and when women were finally believed with a lot of accusations that normally they wouldn't be. Peggy Glass, 1478, I think Riley was just as surprised to see her granny there as we are all surprised, in my opinion. And of course, it looked like it. You know, she looked surprised. Maybe she played the part because she's an actress. But when Priscilla hugged her, if you notice that picture, Riley's arm is hanging straight down. She's not trying to hug her grandma. Now, I didn't see a video. Maybe she tried to hug her after that. But it's interesting that Priscilla chose that picture, being the wise businesswoman that she is. You know, where Riley in no way looks like she wants Priscilla around. You know, she's got some sterling marketing people, doesn't she? Anywho, she's probably doing it herself on her iPhone, possibly. All right, let's see here. J.Y3604, I believe. It's got a problem with me, I think, in a sense. We'll see what she says. I'm not sure why you're commenting on Riley's detachment from her grandfather, Elvis, because I am aware of my grandparents, but they were dead long before I was able to appreciate them, so you don't really have a close relationship with them if they passed before you grew up. But you can appreciate the history, and that's all Riley's trying to do, so you need to get a grip. And stop your speculating on that, in my opinion. Hey, sorry if I read it that way. You know, the thing is, I mean, I'm just kind of voicing what other Elvis fans are thinking and saying. If you listen to some of my other videos, you'll hear sometimes that I do defend Riley, that she probably is not going to have a close personal relationship because everything was sadness with her mom when it came to Elvis. At least that's when she was the saddest, when she was reminiscent. But I think that Lisa, you know, would use Elvis to give her solace, and it was the sadness from Michael Edwards and the sadness from Priscilla Presley that caused her to be sad when it came time to Elvis. She was going to be sad naturally because she lost her daddy at a young age. But I don't think Lisa was mad at her daddy. You know, so Riley, I think, being a young girl, she probably just didn't communicate. It wasn't communicated properly. And so she just doesn't feel very close to her grandfather. They all have had successes. Hey, Nin, 2261. They've all had successes and loads of money because of Elvis, including Riley. So to feel no connection to him is pretty cold, in my opinion. Elvis fans feel a love and connection to him, and most of us have never met him and certainly aren't related to him. Yeah, I mean, once again, you're speaking your truth, and that's you would think. But unfortunately, she grew up in a house where there was too much sadness. And Lisa didn't play the music because it made her sad, I guess. You know, I don't know. You know, I mean, it's a great comment. I appreciate that. Then we got Stephanie, looks like Stephanie Gilcher, 4577. Lisa got along with her mother in the later years. So what do you have to care about? Well, I don't know. Everybody close to Lisa said that she was not close to her mother in later years. And as an abused person, she probably tried to be close to Priscilla and tried to get love and affection. But Priscilla, allegedly, supposedly, is not very good at giving affection. And you see how her son turned out. Drug addict Navarone, who hated Lisa. What's going on there is 05020502. Abel? I don't believe half of what the entourage says, especially Joe Esposito. His stories have changed, and I don't appreciate us saying that how Elvis was found. Yeah, his stories did change. I think he said that he was trying to say it in a certain way to protect Elvis. I think he said that Elvis was found in his bed. So I don't have a problem with that part of it. He also allegedly said or supposedly said that he had found a note that Elvis wrote that said that Elvis did it on purpose. Now, that's something that, you know, and then he went and burned it or tore it up or something. So I don't know if you knew that or not, and I don't know. I can't believe that would be true myself. But there are some people that I know that were around Elvis that think maybe it was an accident. He wasn't trying to. He was just trying not to go on tour to face his fans. So I don't know about that. Once again, speculation. It makes me icky to even say it. He also said, "I'm sorry I don't know your name, but I do love your show. I watch it all the time. I just want to say thank you. You do a great job." Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You know, I mean, I do as good as I can, and just try to bring the message and my opinion and share your opinions. It's very important for me that y'all have a voice. A lot of times people just leave a comment, and it never really gets answered or never gets the light shined on it. So I try to do as much as I can. Sylvia says, 2619, good to see you again. I saw you earlier in the comments. Thanks for reading to us. That was the Elvis and Kathy Premonitions, Near Death, and John Lennon, where she kind of talks about those three things. So let me play some music here, and I'll come back. Enjoy the comments. Enjoy the music. There's a lot of you that haven't heard these songs, and then there's some of you that have heard them. And I'm putting them on there so the people that haven't heard them can hear them. If y'all get completely terribly tired of it, well, I'm sure I'm going to be producing some more records here soon, and there'll be some newer ones too. We'll leave before the music with Priscilla was only married to Elvis. She never married anyone else. She never married anyone else because she wanted to try to keep the Presley name. She didn't want anybody thinking that she loved anybody else when she spent 26 years with Marco Garibaldi, where she spent more time with Michael Edwards than she spent married to Elvis. So I think that she chose her men unwisely. All right, here's some music. Enjoy the comments. If your comment is focused, if your comment is featured, let me know in the comments. And if it's not, I'll keep looking for y'all. You know, and like I said, this video is 2 hours. Just 2 hours worth of comments today. So at some point you will see a response from me. I will. I might be 2 o'clock in the morning, could be 4:30 in the morning when I can't sleep. MIM or M1M767 for some unknown reason, I received my book the day before it was supposed to arrive. I read it in about 7 hours. It certainly answered many questions for me, but it was one of the saddest things I've ever read. In fact, I'm not sure I can read it again. Priscilla certainly failed her daughter. She didn't protect her. She used her as leverage before Elvis died and after. And she didn't seem to want to raise her at all. Lisa was left to the care of nannies, chefs, and abusive boyfriends. Instead of teaching Lisa Marie about God's love, she dropped her off at the Scientology office and left her to be handled by others. Now, I've been told that perhaps Priscilla was just unprepared, too young, too whatever, to properly care for Lisa, and that Lisa was a handful. She acted out because she was ignored and allowed to be abused by Michael Edwards. Riley did what her mother would have wanted, since we know that Lisa asked for her help writing the book to begin. Very good comment there. So there's plenty of young mothers that do a wonderful job. I'm sure this page is filled with mothers that have done a wonderful job at a young age. My wife herself, you know, she was 19 when she had our first child. Okay, young mother, and you know, we loved our son and love our son. And yes, you're going to make some mistakes here and there, but to make the grievous mistakes that Priscilla did and not care about it and continue to, in a sense, shame her daughter. That's what I think her being on stage was all about, was shaming her, making fun of her over her choices. Disgusting. Priscilla, you disgust me. Used to be somebody that liked you or thought, you know, that you had it rough, but now maybe you didn't have it rough enough. I don't really know. Actually, that's kind of mean for me to say. All right. Anyways, I regress. Let's play the Priscilla song about her losing the Presley name.
Lisa was the sweetest girl. Her daddy loved her so. Prissy took her to L.A., replaced Elvis with Mike Stone. Then she ran out of cash and sued the king of rock and roll, made him sell his royalties and play show after show. She put Elvis in an early grave, then laughed upstairs at Graceland. At least that's what a witness said, when Prissy should have saved him. Instead she drank poor Elvis and took Lisa Marie away. Elvis fans, they don't forgive her to this very day. Prissy B should lose the Presley name. Now that Lisa's gone, she left us with her book, telling us all that Prissy B and Michael Edwards took her joy and took her dreams, took her innocence away. And Prissy has the nerve to still get up on stage. She put Elvis in an early grave, then laughed upstairs at Graceland. At least that's what a witness said, when Prissy should have saved him. Instead she drank poor Elvis and took Lisa Marie away. Elvis fans, they don't forgive her to this very day. Prissy B should lose the Presley name. Now that Lisa's gone, she left us with her book, telling us all that Prissy B and Michael Edwards took her joy and took her dreams, took her innocence away. And Prissy has the nerve to still get up on stage. She put Elvis in an early grave, then laughed upstairs at Graceland. At least that's what a witness said, when Prissy should have saved him. Instead she drank poor Elvis and took Lisa Marie away. Elvis fans, they don't forgive her to this very day. Prissy B should lose the Presley name. Prissy B should lose the Presley name.
Yeah, you know, it needed to be written. You know, y'all have been saying it forever, that Presley is not her last name. It shouldn't be her last name, and she's only using it for the profitability of the Presley name. And she's taking money from Priscilla fans, and it's mainly Priscilla fans that want to be around her because they've got an infatuation of, if I'm around Priscilla, I'm around somebody that touched Elvis, that made love to Elvis. And that's really the only thing that can be fascinating about Priscilla Presley. Whoops, Priscilla Bayou. Whoops, Priscilla Wagner. Whoops, Priscilla Garibaldi Garcia. Whoops, Priscilla Edwards. Whatever. Certainly it shouldn't be Presley anymore. And there's going to be people that defend her. But the thing is, it doesn't seem like there's anything about Priscilla that has any... it doesn't show that she's learned the error of her ways, not as a parent, not as a person. And some people would say that's being strong. I don't say that. I say that's being stubborn and narcissistic. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. I mean, I don't think I can get in trouble for calling her narcissistic, but regardless, it's just, I don't know. And does she really care what any of us think? I don't think so, because narcissists don't care about what anybody thinks. That being said, we can still try to get the message out there, and let's have some positive stuff about Elvis and Gladys here. Some of the songs coming up. One of the things I loved always reading about when I was younger, and even now, is Elvis getting on that plane and going to see Nixon. You know, and that's why I wrote the Elvis and Nixon song. So anyhow, I appreciate y'all's joy for the music. once again, let's focus on it being about Elvis. I do appreciate the compliments and all. It's not necessary, but as an artist, it feels nice. But I wrote them to share my love and my expression of Elvis and my vision of it, who Elvis was, and there's going to be a lot more songs to come, because it's one of those things that it gets my creative juices going. And if you go, you go to the Sins Country YouTube, or just type in Sins Country, the Sins Country on Google, you'll hear the records, and you hear other songs that I wrote, my wife and I wrote, a song called Muscadine, a song called Romeo and Juliet Sparks, that were a couple songs on the radio that were top 40 songs. But the passion I have, and I love that. I love writing songs with my wife, and Romeo and Juliet Sparks is a story about my wife and I, and the beginning of our love, and the challenges. And Muscadine's about a bottle of wine that we drank at a winery out in Tennessee, and came back and wrote a song about it. Anyhow, there's some great comments going by. I just saw one about how Michael Edwards said he was in love with the little girl in his book, and he's got the book there. So that's a great comment back there. Kathy Davis, image, image, image. That's what Priscilla's trying to protect. Anyways, here's some more songs of Elvis, and let's keep enjoying these comments. I'm curious how many of y'all are going to get through the full video. I do get to see in my YouTube studio what percentage of viewers watch it all the way to the end. And it's surprisingly, some of these videos, about 30% of y'all watch all 30 minutes or 45 minutes or 55 minutes. And I appreciate that. I mean, it makes me feel good. And I think that's what Elvis wanted for his band, for Kathy Westmoreland, for James Burton, for Charlie Hodge. He wanted them to feel good, them to feel appreciated, and he did that by using his talent to allow them to be associated with him and to feel good about it. So it does make me kind of feel even more attached and appreciative of Elvis, because that was who he was. He was a giving, loving, caring person at the core. And heck yeah, he had his anger, he had his jealousies and all that stuff that happened. We all do. That's going to be forgiven when the core of you and the multitude of all the things you've done, including taking care of Gary Pepper. I've got to get that video out there. I had a nice 2-hour interview with Nancy Pease, and I need to start talking about that at the beginning of the videos. There's just so much stuff going on. Need to get that out there for you. She shared some great stories of Elvis and of Gary. Yeah, all right, so here's some more music while Ann Miller's comment is in the background.
I'm in a blue suede dream tonight, and feel the rhythm come alive. My heart beats to every Elvis song. On my turntable I turn on. Hound dog echoes in my veins, jailhouse rocking through the years. We're all the part of him that remains as we wipe away our tears. We say thank you to the mailman, say our grace and our amens. Live our life in God we trust. Yeah, Elvis is alive in all of us. Feel the tremor in the night, guitar strings start to hum, and the stars up there so big and bright as Elvis starts to strum. We say thank you to the mailman, say our grace and our amens. Live our life in God we trust. Yeah, Elvis is alive in all of us. Just a blue moon in the sky, can't help falling but don't wonder why. Elvis' spirit never dies in our soul. For all our lives we say thank you to the mailman, say our grace and our amens. Live our life in God we trust. Yeah, Elvis is alive in all of us. Yeah, Elvis is alive in all of us. Feel the tremor in the night, guitar strings start to hum, and the stars up there so big and bright as Elvis starts to strum. Feel the tremor in the night, guitar strings start to hum, and the stars up there so big and bright as Elvis starts to strum. We say thank you to the mailman, say our grace and our amens, live our life in God we trust. Yeah, Elvis is alive in all of us. Yeah, Elvis is alive in all of us. Ghost of blue moon in the sky, can't help falling but don't wonder why. The Elvis spirit never dies in our soul for all our lives.
He sure is. Elvis is alive. Whenever we would do kind acts and stuff. Great comment there in the background. It was triggering to see Priscilla take over Riley's book tour and make it about herself. Hopefully it will help others in Lisa Marie and Riley's situation to see their narcissistic family clearer and start distancing themselves from them. I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't really know how much Riley spends with Priscilla. But she wasn't there in Nashville. In fact, Riley didn't even mention the name Priscilla, thankfully. But here's a song about Elvis and his mother, Gladys, who was a great mother to Elvis, that I need to put out during Mother's Day as well for a Mother's Day tribute to Gladys, because she gave us Elvis.
She held him close to her heart from the very start. Through every joy and fear, she kept him near and dear, with a love that's pure and true. In everything she'd do, a mother's guiding light shone through the Elvis night. Oh, Gladys loved her son until her big old heart gave out. And there's no greater love than a mother's love. Holding her hand, he found peace, and all her worries would not cease. There shares a bond that never fades, it loves me tender shades. Oh, Gladys loved her son until her big old heart gave out. And there's no greater love than a mother's love. Holding her hand, he found peace, and all her worries would not cease. They shares a bond that never fades, it loves me tender shades. Oh, Gladys loved her son until her big old heart gave out. And there's no greater love than a mother's love. With every note he'd sing, he danced on her heartstrings. A melody so sweet made their bond complete. Oh, Gladys loved her son until her big old heart gave out. And there's no greater love than a mother's love. Yeah, there's no greater love than a mother's love.
There is no greater love than a mother's love. You know, when the mother loves her child. Anyway, what I'm getting at is that I sincerely hope preserving Elvis's legacy is never something that is felt as a burden by any of his family members. I know his grandkids have never met him, but we don't always need to personally meet someone to feel a connection. Sometimes it's just something unexplainable, a pull that we feel. Let's hope that Finley or Harper feels that stirring in their heart, something that draws one of them to their family connection to Elvis and feel excited about being part of it all. Now, somebody left a comment about Elvis's favorite song for Harper and Finley is Crying in the Chapel. So I think we have an emotional connection there. I think we've got, you know, and I think once again, I believe Riley's a great businesswoman. It ain't Priscilla is not a businesswoman, you know, but Riley's a great businesswoman, and I think that she's going to take care of the business side of things and make sure that that it's still run. I hope the prices don't keep going up with inflation. I hope that maybe she can bring things down and make it affordable. But the other daughters, the other granddaughters, Riley, Harper, and Finley, seem to have a love for Elvis, which is good. Lana, 43, says, I've also read in a book, I think the Memphis Mafia member had taken advantage of Lisa, and I will try to find a link. Please do that, and I'll look for it. And if I don't respond to it, just send it to me in an email, rareelvisphotos@gmail.com. All right, here's another song. This was a fun one to write. In fact, this was the first one that I wrote. It's a tribute to Elvis. Well, really not the first one I wrote, but the first one I recorded.
He was born in a shack in Tupelo, a healthy boy, but he lost his baby bro. He grew up poor, the dirt poor life. The only thing he had was a guitar and a bike. That was Elvis, born in 35, that was Elvis. The coolest kind of life from don't be cruel to all shook up, suspicious minds to burn in love. That was Elvis. In the summer of 77, Priscilla broke his heart and sent him back to heaven. He sang his songs for all to hear. American Trilogy still brings a tear. That was Elvis, born at 35, that was Elvis. The coolest kind of life from don't be cruel to all shook up, suspicious minds to burn in love. That was Elvis. He left us a gift in Lisa Marie, but now she's singing with Elvis in heaven's jubilee. That was Elvis, born in 35, that was Elvis. The coolest kind of life from don't be cruel to all shook up, suspicious minds to burn in love. That was Elvis, from that's alright to all shook up, suspicious minds to burn in love. That was Elvis, Elvis, Elvis. That was Elvis, Elvis. That was Elvis, Elvis, Elvis.
Yes, and it's fitting, of course. You know, she's singing with Elvis in Heaven's Jubilee. And that's the truth, you know. I mean, From Here to the Great Unknown was a line in a song that she did a duet with her daddy. That's what Riley said. You know, so it's just sad. Elvis at 42. I think Lisa was 55, I believe. 54, 55, I can't remember. Just too young. I mean, Elvis passed away at 42. I mean, that's younger than I am. And I feel like I'm 28. I know I'm not, but I feel it. But for Lisa to pass away young, too, of a bowel issue as well. Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Sylvia Austin, from A Lady with Cataracts, thank you for reading the books for all of us. God bless. You bet, Sylvia. I'm going to keep reading once again. If you haven't been able to find the other books, click on the name Rare Elvis Photos that's below the video, and it'll take you to the main page of this YouTube page, and there'll be playlists and podcasts. You'll see the Elvis and Kathy. You'll see the Child Bride. You'll see the My Army Days with Elvis. I'm starting to get tired, starting to maybe rush my speaking too much. And then there'll be the From Here to the Great Unknown, a memoir, or it'll say Lisa Marie's memoir, one of those two things. And that's where all the readings will be from the books. And I'll try in the description to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so you can see what parts they are. I can't put them in the titles because YouTube doesn't like it. They just don't. They squash the videos for some reason. Because they want unique content all the time. So to stop myself from stumbling over my words anymore, let's play The Shadow of the King, a song that I wrote when I returned from Graceland on my anniversary with my wife.
The shadow of the king still haunts the Memphis night in the dimming southern light. Graceland comes alive. He walks those southern halls, his footsteps fall and fall, until those gates up front swing wide and bring his fans inside. Elvis looks out, smiles down at the crowd, from his window way up high at Graceland, watching time go by, watching over us all, day after day, night after night. Memories like a song keeps the king walking on. He is still amazed. We love him to this day. Elvis looks out, smiles down at the crowd, from his window way up high at Graceland, watching time go by, watching over us all, day after day, night after night. Memories like a song keeps the king walking on. He's still amazed. We love him to this day. Elvis looks out, smiles down at the crowd, from his window way up high at Graceland, watching time go by, watching over us all, day after day, night after night, day after day, night after night.
Well, if you made it through to the end of the video, I congratulate you. You are a hardcore Rare Elvis Photo subscriber. I don't want to say fan because I don't want to make it about that. I mean, you're a fan of Elvis. So thanks so much, TCB TLC. Share the video around. Look out for the next one. I will be doing some readings tomorrow of Elvis and Kathy, From Here to the Great Unknown, and My Army Days with Elvis. Those should all be tomorrow. If not, at least Elvis and Kathy and My Army Days with Elvis.